Hey everyone, and thanks for joining me today for the Craft Room Helpers What Do You Color With collaboration and giveaway. As a reminder, there are 10 of us YouTube crafters that will be sharing a variety of coloring mediums. Today I am using colored pencils, and each of us will be having a giveaway on our channels. All we ask is that you subscribe and leave a comment, and make sure you listen to each of the channels because each giveaway is different and each entry method may be different. So I have there's a special comment that I want you to leave, and it is in my video. So you have to watch the entire video to see what I want you to comment. But you need to be subscribed and leave me that comment to be entered in my giveaway. So the giveaways are open internationally, and each channel will have their contest run from Saturday, May 4th, 2019 through Friday, May 10th, 2019. So it gives you a full week to watch all the videos. The winners will be chosen randomly from each page, so make sure you are subscribed and you go back to the channel to see if you are a winner. And as always, I will have links below to all of the other channels that are participating in this contest. And also I will have links to my sponsor, which is AMB Illustrations. That is where my digital paper came from, and that is what I will be giving away. I will be giving away the pack of unicorns as well as the unicorn paper as well. And so I will put those on the screen so that you can see the pack, and that is my prizes. I will have one winner, and that one winner will receive both of those digital packages. So without further ado, this is the card that we are making today. As you can see, it is an interactive card. Pretty cute, right? So this was kind of interesting to put together. It might be a little bit of a longer video because it is a coloring challenge, or a color, what do I color with? And colored pencils are what I colored with. So I will go into detail on my coloring. The video a little bit is not as detailed as making the card as some of my others because I did focus on the coloring and that pretty shine, which I will show you how I obtained that in the video. All right, folks, without further ado, let's get started. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. And as you can see, I do have my color pencils here. I went ahead and marked some of the colors off onto one of the pages so that I could see kind of what they look like. Now, I am not a coloring expert. Actually, coloring kind of scares me, but that's not going to stop me, and I'm going to go ahead and do what I want to do. And the colored pencils today that I'm using are by Statler, and so far I've been really liking these. A friend of mine sent these to me, and I've been using them, and I really like these much better than some of the other ones that I've been using. So if I can find the link, I will definitely post that in the description box below. All right, and so now we have our images. So I've gone ahead and printed out this image, and in Photoshop I added my happy birthday sentiment. I could have probably used a stamp for that, but I kind of wanted to steer away from stamps and just have all this colored pencils and printed. So then I have my second image that I'm going to use already ready to go. I've printed out this image and just kind of trimmed the page down for maneuverability. And then I printed out some additional images as well. So we're going to start on the coloring, and we'll probably start with this one. And so let me zoom you guys in a little bit so that you guys can see. All right. Sorry if things are shaking. I just kind of want to get you guys situated there. There we go. All right. So for this one, I think what I want to do is, well, first I want the clouds to be white. And I know you're really not going to see that, so I'm going to shade them with a little bit of the gray. Just maybe a tad, not even a lot. Just a little bit. And you're not going to see this at all on camera, but I can a little bit. But we're going to jazz this up a little bit when we're done as well. So it doesn't have to be neat. So As you guys know, I do not pre-make my cards or test this out before I do any of these videos. So everything I do, I have an idea and then I go ahead and hit record and then record it. When I'm done making my card, I go ahead and create the intro so that you guys could see what we made. And the reason I do that is so that you guys can learn from my mistakes. Because if I practiced this beforehand, I would know what to do and what not to do. And I might forget to tell you something. So if I go ahead and I just do it live, then we could learn together. And it saves me some time too, having to make a card a couple times, because sometimes, as you guys know, we really just don't have time for that. All right, and again, I am not a color expert at all. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of shading in here. Just a little bit. And I'm going to bring out my little special guest in just a little bit. So we're going to try to blend all this. And it's something I saw online, so I don't even know if it's going to work. But we're going to try it together, like I said. Learn from my mistakes. We're just going to put some shadows in here where I think there would be shadows anyways. Like I said, I'm really not a colorer, so for me, picking colors and doing shadows and things like that are kind of above me or above my head, but it's fun and we're going to do it anyways. So I'm thinking that there might be just a little bit of shadow. I don't want these to be gray clouds because I want them to be happy sunny, but I do want to highlight the white part by just making a little bit of outline, because there are things that have shadows regardless if they're white or not. They do have shadow. So I think for the cloud, I'm going to leave it like that. And now I want to go ahead and color that star. And for the star, I want this color. And now what I'm going to do is, now if I color like this, you're going to see all sorts of lines. So I'm going to make little circles and color in little circles. So that is what I'm going to do. And then I don't really have those harsh stroke lines. And I know when you get into the corners, you really can't do that. But I'm going to try anyways. And when you get to the edges, you really can't do that, but you kind of just got to go slow and then just make your circles smaller, if that makes sense. And that's actually looking pretty good. I'm impressed with this. Nice. And on the edges, I'm going to kind of break my rule and kind of just scribble them in a little bit. And that doesn't look too bad. Perfect. So we'll continue on. And this is going to be a really fun interactive card that we're making. I have not made this card before. I got the digital designs, and then I kind of based the card off the digital designs, what I thought would be really cute. And so that is where this card, that's how I decided this is the card we're going to make today. Now, if you feel that, to me, it's better to have a sharp point on all my things, and this may look sharp, but it's kind of not. So I've got my trusty little sharpener here, and we're just going to do that. Now, I'm trying not to move the camera because it's on my table, but it is also helpful to turn your paper. And so now I'm going to go ahead and finish this little area, And I take everything in sections, obviously. And so when you get, at least for me, when I get really detailed like this, everything becomes little individual sections. And it's a little bit easier to manage that way. So let's go down here. And we'll add in this little section. And I'll try to zoom in after the fact with my editing software so that I can zoom you guys in a little bit closer. I just want to make sure that you're not off camera. And you might not be able to see because my hand's in the way, so I'm kind of trying to color in a way that you guys will be able to see no matter how I'm coloring. I'm coloring on an angle, whereas before I would kind of color straight up, but if I color straight up, you're not going to be able to see me. So, and I really don't have a setup to record any other way. So there we go. That doesn't look too bad. That's kind of cute. But now that I'm looking at this, that white does look really plain. And so I am going to pull in a blue because I think I want the clouds to have a little bit of a blue. And the blue that I originally pulled out is going to be way too dark for that blue. So let's try this one. I like that blue. And who's to say you can't have a blue sky or a blue cloud, right? I can't. This is, who says there's going to be unicorns? So if I could have a unicorn card, I could have a blue cloud. And I'm just going to do a light touch because I really don't want these really blue. I just want them a hint of blue. And I'm not even sure you're going to be able to see it because it's really hard for me to see right now. But I'm going to build up the color. So I'm just letting it rest on my hands and very lightly touching the paper. And I'll probably just build that up. Instead of me coloring harder, because obviously you're not going to be able to take away color. But if I just do a very gentle hand, then I can just layer it and put a little bit more on and a little bit more on and a little bit more on. And that looks a lot better already. It just gives it a little bit, I'll hold it up, but just gives it a little bit more. And we're going to bling this out, so don't forget. All right, so let me go on to the next image. All right, so our next image, we're gonna, now again, picking colors is really hard for me. I picked out a bunch of colors here. I may or may not use all of them, and they may or may not all match. So we will see. But I do know that I want this star to be that gold color that was on the front. So we will make that. Still doing my little circles. For these edges, I am kind of not really doing circles in the edges or in those corners there because I really can't, but I'm still trying. All right, perfect. So now I wanted to do a rainbow on this, and I could have looked up what rainbows look like, but I didn't. So I know I want a green, and I want a blue, and I want a yellow, and a red, and a purple. I don't even know, but that looks like a rainbow to me. And so we'll start with the red at the top. And I did notice that, I guess, I don't know if it depends on the pigment or the way that the colored pencils are made, but I do notice that some colors show off more stroke lines than others, and some, as you're coloring, some give off more color in general, so you don't have to push as hard. So I think it's very important that before you just pick up your pencil and start coloring, you just test it off to the side a little bit, because this one I had to push harder to get that color, but the red seems to be darker without me pushing harder, if that makes sense. I'm not pushing as hard as I did for that one, and it seems to me like the color is coming off a little bit easier, but I'm seeing a little bit more stroke marks in the red also. So it's just something to be aware of. Again, I'm not an expert, but just calling out my observations. All right. Okay, blow away some of that stuff. Let's try the yellow next. Yeah, this yellow comes off really easy. I thought about speeding up this process, but because this is about coloring, I'm not going to. So I apologize if you think the video is a little bit longer than it should be, but because it is a video about coloring, I'm not going to speed through the color process. And even I forgot to do the little half circles there. There we go. Now I went online and I was researching household items that I could use to make these blend, to get rid of some of those stroke marks, and we're going to try that. And again, I have not tried this before, so I really hope that it works out and I don't ruin all of my coloring. But like I said, I record this part and then I go back and then I record the intro, so you guys would already have known at this point whether or not it worked, because you would have seen the intro before the video started. And at this point in my coloring, I wouldn't have made that yet. So kind of random, right? Random information, but it is kind of cool. So, and then I don't know, I just noticed too that I turned my pencil around a lot too. Random bizarre things you notice. So I'm curious to know what type of coloring mediums you guys use. So when you leave me your comments in the description box below, I would like to know, what is your favorite color medium and your favorite color? So those are the two things that I need for you to leave in the description box below. All right. So I think I'm going to do this horn because it's very tiny. There's no way that I'm going to be able to do multiple colors in there. Oh, I probably could, but we're just going to make the horn gold. All right. And I know there's lots of people out there that can do this, that could probably do the mane and the tail different colors. I'm not confident in myself to do that, so we're just going to make it solid. And we're just going to see what we get. Again, just doing my little circles or big circles if I have the area to do so in. All right. Something that probably was not part of the tail. That was probably part of the rainbow. But it's okay. I'm probably going to end up giving this card to my niece because her birthday is coming up. And I think she's going to love it and not even know that I just covered it up unless she watches this video. All right. So we did the pinkish there. So let's do some up here. And I kind of want to go lighter. And I'm not doing my little circles. We're trying something a little different. So I think it's important for you to experiment and see what works for you. I'm kind of just making what I think this hair would look like. I'm kind of following the shape a little bit. And again, we're going to blend this, or try to blend this. So on this section, I'm kind of just mocking what I think the texture in the hair would be. Again, I don't know if it's right or not, but that's what we're doing. We're getting the job done. The job is to fill this area with color. And try to stay in the lines. Right? Right. Okay, now I do see that rainbow comes off to the back. So behind here, there is a little bit more of that rainbow. And I'm thinking it comes down here also. So we're going to make the rainbow continue behind this unicorn as best we can in these tiny spots. All right, there we go. All right, now for the unicorn itself, I'm going to use this cream kind of color. Just make her a cream colored unicorn. Because I don't even know what kind of, I'm sure, you know, from what I've seen, unicorns are white, but I don't, you saw what I did with the cloud. I don't want to put blue on her. And I thought blue worked great for the clouds because it was in the sky, but I kind of don't want blue on her. I think she's going to be a cream colored unicorn. So in my fantasy world, she's going to be a cream colored unicorn. And I'm sticking to it. And at this point, we don't even know if my blending is going to work to know if we're even going to finish. And I got to fill in the blue for that one because there's a rainbow that goes through her tail. Or you can it peeks through in the break of her tail. So that looks about right. And so now let's find this blue and add that rainbow back in there. Because that goes through there. Perfect. All right. So we are now need to color this. And I think I just want to color this blue. I think that's what I want to do. A light blue. Just like that. Perfect. All right. And now her hooves are going to be a light gray. Like that. thinking about it, I should have made him something cool like pink or something, but that's okay. We're gonna make him gray. All right. And I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with the clouds on the other element. And just give a little bit of shadow at the bottom. So you can see that there's like some definition there. Maybe a little bit at the top. It's going to be a little bit of shadow under her belly. Maybe under her legs a little bit. I don't know. Maybe back here. And then follow it off with that light blue. Just so that you could see it. And this is a little bit darker than I wanted, because I'm pushing a little bit harder, but it's okay. And the difference about, normally I do stamping, and so the thing about stamping is I have to wait for the ink to dry, or if I use markers, I kind of have to wait a second for the markers to dry. So colored pencils is a little bit different because I can just go. I can just color and go. I don't have to wait for the next section to dry, which is kind of cool. All right. There we go. That's my haphazard, is that a word? Haphazard unicorn here. I'm not going to go ahead and do the background. I'm going to leave the background as is, but I am going to pull out my secret magic weapon right now that, again, I have not done before. So we will see together if this is going to work. So let me grab those supplies and I'll meet you right back. All right. So as I told you, this is going to be my secret weapon. I went online looking for things that could blend colored pencils, and I found a lot of things that I had to purchase, and I couldn't purchase something just a little tiny bit to test it, but I did see somebody recommend hand sanitizer, and I definitely have a clear hand sanitizer on hand, so I thought, well, let's try it. So I'm just going to squirt some on here on my acrylic block, and I'm going to bring you guys in to see this. Now, again, I have not done this before, so I cannot tell you what happens. I'm hoping that the printer ink doesn't smear. I'm kind of afraid of that. But I'm going to start on the lighter parts so that I don't grab a darker color and have it, I'm trying to think of the word, infect, or I don't want the a darker color to go over here onto a lighter color. So I'm going to start with the lighter colors first, and we're just going to kind of go in there. And it's kind of hard to see on the cream because the cream, you really can't see much brush strokes. So the next lightest color, I guess, is the blue. I'm going to go through on the blue. And I only have a tiny bit. As you can see, I picked it up and then I went to a dry spot and I kind of rolled it off. So let's kind of go to the blue and see what happens. Well, I can tell you that my printer ink is not smearing, which is a good thing. But it's kind of hard to tell if this is actually smoothing out or not. I want to say it is a little bit. I want to say it is a little bit. The brush strokes are definitely not as intense as they were before. But I would say that, I mean, it's not really, I've had blender pencils before, and the reason I'm not using that is because it's always messed with my printer ink. I don't know if it's because, I don't know. Like I said, I'm really not sure why, but that's why I'm not using that. So I thought, let's try something different. And this Yeah, I'm gonna say this is not really working. I still see too many brush strokes for this technique to be effective for me at least. I mean, it does in some spots, but not all the spots. Let's try this. Well, actually, let's go to the yellow because the yellow would be the next lightest. And you know what? I'm gonna skip the yellow because it's not even really that. You can't even see it in the yellow. So let's go to the purple. Let's try the purple. All right. Yeah, I'm really not seeing this blend. Really, really not. Let's just add more. Let's see. Let's put some on this one. See, now on this one it seemed to have blended it. So I'm thinking it might, and I added a tiny bit more. So it is very well possible that the more you use, the more it's going to work, but then also it might just depend on the color too of the colored pencil. So I added a little bit more, so let's see. No, not really much on this purple up here, but this pink it kind of did. Let's go into the red, see what the red does. Yeah, a little bit on the red. Just a little bit. Let's try this purple. Yeah, a little bit. I know I went out of order with the what I was gonna do, but it's okay. Let's try the green. Now some of these look like they're blending pretty good. Yeah, the rainbow, I think it really did a good job on the rainbow and on this tail here. So I can't say that it doesn't really work, but I could say it doesn't work well on all of the colors. It didn't really do good on the blue, and it didn't really do good on that purple up here. But let's add a little bit more and see. Yeah, no, not really up here. But it kind of did blend over here, so I'm kind of happy with that. And it's okay because I'm gonna, when I come back, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do to jazz this up a little bit more. So let me go ahead and clean this up. And one of the good things about having, I don't even have a towel over here, I have to grab a towel. But one of the things about using the hand sanitizer is I use hand sanitizer to clean my work area. So I'll just be able to wipe that right up. So it works great. All right, so now let me bring out the next product that we're gonna use, and I'll allow this to dry just a few seconds. It's alcohol. Hand sanitizer is alcohol. So it should dry rather quickly, 70%. So let me go ahead and clean up a little bit, and then I will bring out the next thing that we are gonna use. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do to bling this up a little bit is we're going to add some liquid pixie dust from Ink on 3. I have not used this before. I used to use Wink Stella, but I've never had really great results with that. It was either too light or it would glop out on me, and I really wasn't happy with the outcome. So let's just get a little bit on here and put some on my block, and we're going to paint this on. So again, here's another product that I have not used before. So let's see. I'm trying to make sure that I'm in camera because I realized I was telling you guys some things before that you guys might not have been able to see. So I'm picking this up and then I'm just kind of rolling it a little bit to take off some of the excess. And we'll do the mane. There we go. Actually, I'm trying to determine how much of I'm going to put on here, and we'll definitely do the tail. Now this stuff I did read, if you want just a tiny bit, you can dilute it with water. I'm using it full strength. And I think I want to do this. I kind of wanted certain areas, but now that I'm thinking about it, I might just be doing the whole design. And I definitely want this. I'm like, how could you not have sparkly everything, right? It's like, come on, it's a unicorn. I definitely want the star. And I think some of the star is going to get cut off in what we're going to be doing next, but it's okay. All right, I really have to do the rainbow now. Come on, you can't not have a sparkly rainbow. Right? Aren't rainbows always sparkly? I'm just giving it a little bit. I really can't see this going on because it's kind of clear. So I'm just trusting that I'm putting it in the right spot. There we go. All right, let's see. We'll hold it up, and it might need to dry before we really can see the shine. But there you go. I'll show you guys again. It's still really wet, but I'm going to do the other paper now. Excuse me. I'm going to do the other sheet now that we originally colored, and then I'm going to let this dry, and then we'll go ahead and finish. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm using the Magic Picture Changer dies from Lawn Fawn. I'm just going to go ahead and cut those out to save some time. There's tons of videos out there that show you how to use this die, and then we will come back and we'll assemble it all together. All right, so I went ahead and I did all my die cutting, and I went ahead and just to save some time, I went ahead and I assembled this piece. Again, the video is mostly about, or it is about, coloring. So I wanted to show you my coloring. If you did want to check out the tutorials on this, there's tons of this from Lawn Fawn that show you how to assemble this. But we will assemble the rest of the card. But I'm trying to show you, and I don't know if I can catch this in the light for you guys, what that shine looks like from the pixie dust. It's really cool. So, okay, and then as you can see, this is what the card does. So you pull it and it changes. And it's so cute. Some takeaways though are that the hand sanitizer really didn't work, but we tried it. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm taking another one of my digital papers, and because my card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I made a side folding card. And I want to show you a little thing too. I'm using my old trimmer on this piece of paper. I'm not sure if you guys can see. You may not be able to. There's a lot of fibers that my old trimmer used to leave left over. So I have this new trimmer, and I haven't really used it much, but I thought this was a good opportunity to use it. So I'm going to make this, since the card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, I'm going to make this 4 by 5 1/4. Let's just trim off some sides here. And let's do this side 4. And then trim off a little bit of this. And make it 5 1/4. And that, again, you might not be able to see it, but very crisp, clean cuts. So much happier with this one. All right, and we're gonna layer this on top of that like so. So let me grab my ATG gun, and we'll go ahead and, yeah, as you can see, 2 sides to every paper. I ran this through the printer once, and as you can see, look what happened. I forgot that sometimes when I print things just for testing, I wasn't testing this one, but if I print something out that I'm designing, I print it in black and white just to save color. And so when I printed this out, it obviously was still on black and white, so I had to print it twice. No big deal. So let's line that up about like that. Pretty. And then we'll load this guy up with probably a little bit more adhesive than I normally do because it's going to be interactive and you're going to want to play with that. And that's going to go, yeah, let's do it like that. There you go. And that's the way the card works, kind of. Cute. Not too bad. So there you have it. That is the card for today. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to leave the comment that I asked for in the middle of the video in the comment section below to be entered for the contest. Again, the contest is to win both of the digital paper packs from my sponsor AMB Illustrations. So thank you again, Anne-Marie, for sponsoring this contest. And don't forget, I do have links in the description box below as well for links to the other participants in the contest. All right, guys, until next time, bye.